Hi there. This is part of a series I'm doing this week on how to lose weight without dieting and without cravings. But don't turn this off even if you don't want to lose weight, because we're going to talk about tapping or EFT, emotional freedom techniques, and that can be used for so many things. I'm going to teach you today about cravings, but tapping is absolutely amazing for being able to remove any negative emotion, feeling, or uncomfortability, pain. You can also use it to tap in what you want, the kind of day you want, the kind of feeling that you want. It's absolutely incredible. I resisted it for a long time. I had centers in California and we were seeing thousands of people and they were very happy with our programs with hypnosis. It's called Positive Changes Hypnosis. A friend kept calling me and saying, I have to come teach you this technique where you tap on these different acupressure points and the most amazing things happen. And I kept saying, yeah, thanks, but no thanks. And telling him that our clients were happy and nothing was broken. We didn't need to fix it. But he finally talked me into it. When he came over and we did a class on it, I was blown away by how powerful it is. If you want to hear more about all that and more about tapping in general, I'd be happy to send you a class that I did for some Freddie Jacqueline's people. It goes into everything in a lot more depth and in the different aspects, whereas today we're going to talk about cravings. I would suggest that you tap along with me, but you can just watch it. I'm going to post a diagram and the directions for how to tap. So just go with it the way you would go with a game, the way a kid would, and just follow along what I'm saying and doing. I want you to think about either a craving or a negative emotion. It could be sadness, anger, fear, anxiety, stress, any negative emotion. And when you do, I want you to really go with it inside. In other words, really feel it. We don't like negative emotions. Our tendency is to push it away, repress it, get rid of it in whatever way that we can, deny it. I'm asking you to go into it. Let it rip, because we're going to take it away then. And it works like that. So think about something you don't want in terms of an emotion. It could also be pain. However, I would like to say with pain, we're successful, I'm going to guess 75% of the time. Whereas tapping away a negative emotion or a craving, 100%. I've taught it to over 7,000 people. I have never seen anyone not get rid of a negative emotion that they didn't want. It's so versatile. It's amazing. But today we're going to keep it really simple. I want you to just think of craving, if not a craving, whatever it is that you want to get rid of. And as you go into it and really feel it, think about the details, really let it seep in instead of pushing it away. And then give it a number on a scale of 0 to 10. 10 being it's so unbearable you can't stand it another minute. And 0, obviously, you don't feel it at all. After you've done that, then take your hand and we're going to tap on what we call the karate chop point. It's called that because if you were doing karate and you were coming down on a board or a brick to break it, this is the part of the hand that you would use. So just follow along with me and hopefully do it with me. Even though I have this craving, I love and accept myself completely. Even though I have this craving, I choose to let it go. Even though I have this craving, I love and accept myself completely. That's the setup. And you do that anytime you're taking something negative away. Then you're going to go to the points. I like to start with the top of the head. A lot of people end with the top of the head. A lot of us who do tapping do it slightly differently, and that's fine. You're going to find your way to do it. I learned it from Gary Craig, the man who put it on the planet, and I learned it in his living room with 7 other people. So I feel really confident that this is a great way to do it. Then over the years, we've added to it, fine-tuned it a little. We never used to do the choice thing, and I think that's really important that I choose to let it go. Here we go. We're going to start at the top of the head, like a little beanie or a yarmulke on top of your head. Well, you simply name it. We're doing cravings, but you might be doing anger, anxiety, stress, whatever. And you can be kind of complicated with it and really put in all kinds of details and like a little story. I don't recommend it because if you do that, you're going to be much less likely to use this. And it's the kind of thing that is just so easy and fast if you just keep it nice and simple. Here we go. These cravings. You do it about 7 times, but you don't have to count. Then you go down here from the eyebrow to the eyebrow, and this finger goes in between these cravings. All you're doing is naming it. Now you're going to go along the bony ridge next to the temple with the flats of your fingers. A lot of people teach it this way. I like this. It's much more, just has a better feeling to it. I like things that feel good. These cravings. Now under your eyes, the top of your cheeks, you don't want to be in the fragile skin under your eyes. These cravings. And by the way, you could do it one-handed, left or right, doesn't matter. Under your nose, this is my favorite point. I really feel I get grounded here. These cravings. These cravings. And here you're under your lips. And now you're going to go down to just below your collarbone. Find your collarbone with your index fingers. Put those there. And then put your other fingers here going down these cravings. Sometimes I go like this, picking up extra points. You can just do it like this. You get to do this whatever way it works for you. It's called the chimpanzee point. It's where a woman's bra is, or where just underneath where you would put deodorant. These cravings. Now that's the classic setup, but then we added the fingers. So as I said, you can do the fingers or not. I recommend doing them. A lot of people prefer the fingers, especially if they're doing it in public, because you can do it so subtly. And I'm going to tell you about other ways to do it so no one knows you're doing it. You don't have to sit in a restaurant going like this. Go to the side of your thumb and each finger. Do it with 1 or 2 fingers. Again, doesn't matter which hand, whatever is comfortable to you. Now we're going to say, I'm letting go of these cravings. I'm letting go of these cravings right now. Next finger, I'm letting go of these cravings right here and right now. I'm letting go of these cravings completely. I'm letting go of these cravings and it feels so good. I feel so free. Or you could just say, I'm letting go of these cravings. And then come down to your wrist. Now, some people do it like this. I like doing it like this. You get to do it the way you want to do it. These cravings. Letting go of these. Then you stop for a moment, get centered, take a nice deep breath, and exhale with a wonderful feeling of releasing and letting go. Then go inside again. Think about the cravings. If it's chocolate cake, really think about the icing and the sweetness and how you feel when you eat it. Whatever it is, let it in. Give it a number on a scale of 0 to 10. Now, a lot of people find that whatever it is, whether it's cravings, anxiety, anger, fear, it only takes 1 round to do it. Now, it doesn't mean it'll never come back. It might come back. Then you tap again. And when I'm not teaching it to you, it takes like a minute. So you always have this in your back pocket to use whenever you want. So if it comes back, it doesn't matter. Back to the giving it a number. If you're at a 3 or below, that's probably fine. You can handle it. If it's above, you want to tap again and just add in these 2 words. Even though I still have these remaining cravings, I love and accept myself completely. And if that's hard for you to say, you definitely need to say it, and say it with gusto. Even though I still have these remaining cravings, I choose to let them go. Even though I still have these remaining cravings, I love and accept myself completely, just as I am. These remaining cravings, 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 these remaining cravings. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale. And give it a number. And by the way, if your number was still pretty high, say you started at a 9 and you only got down to a 7 the first time, then you might want to do the fingers the second time as well. Again, you get to decide. It's just such a wonderful technique. And over the years, we've added to it in ways that are absolutely wonderful. And one of my favorite ways is that you can tap in good things. It's called positive tapping or affirmative tapping. When you're doing that, you don't start with the setup point because you're not releasing something, you're tapping it in. You start here and say things like, I feel great. I love that I'm taking care of myself. I love that I feel good, and I feel good because I am taking care of myself. I'm looking forward to the day ahead. I'm excited about whatever it is. I feel absolutely wonderful. Feeling great. There's so much energy. Whatever comes to you of what you want to tap in. I used to do that when I walked my dog. I'd have the leash in one hand and I would tap with the other hand, just tapping in the day that I wanted, the feelings I wanted, the results I wanted. You could tap in manifestation, put in goals as if you've already achieved them. I feel so good that I've achieved this thing. I can't recommend this technique highly enough. Oh, and I said I'd show you how to do it when you're in public. It's called sneaky tapping. At least that's what I call it. You can do it a couple of different ways. Say you're at a meeting or you're out for lunch and suddenly you get a really awful feeling about something or cravings over lunch for something that you've decided not to eat. You can just do the fingers by just stimulating them like this. Think about what it is you want to let go of. And then choose to let this go. You'd obviously do it in your head, not out loud. And then see how you feel. Do it again if you're still not feeling good. And you can do the regular points if you want to. Do the setup point. Just all you're doing this time with sneaky tapping is stimulating the points. These are all things that we do anyway. We do them naturally because these are major acupressure points that are connected to very powerful systems in our bodies, physically, mentally, and emotionally. You can do them all in a row, or you can like take little breaks in between if you're feeling self-conscious. But I don't think anyone would notice you doing this. And this one, what do we do when we get like big news? Some major points here. The chimpanzee point, you can do like this and see how you feel. I hope you feel great. So if you have any questions, just DM me. I'll put the diagram and the directions below here. If you're not on my email list and want to know about things like this, I do a lot of free talks and I send out a lot of free information and PDFs, videos, audios. So send me your email address if you want to be on my email list. Thanks for staying this long.